One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin, and let me know that you can hear me loud and clear over the sound effects. Let me know where you're calling in from. Watching in. Uh, your rep your city. Let me know what state you're watching from. We're here. We're doing a morning show here at Round One Sports Talk. We're gonna talk about all the top stories and some of the biggest fights that are just around the corner. So please join me as we get into these fights. What's up, fight fans? We have an amazing month of boxing, and we have much more to come. We're going to be breaking down a lot of these top boxing matches and stories and what you believe, and we're going to be answering live chats and answering all your questions. If you have anything you want to talk about, any fighter, let me know in the chats, in the comments. Please don't forget to smash that like button for me, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. So, um, September 14th, we have a big boxing match coming up. A lot of people, um, you know, before the fight is announced and why the fight was announced, a lot of people were upset with this fight in some ways because it's not the fight we wanted. It's not exactly the fight that the fans were asking for. But now that we have it, it's an interesting matchup where you have young Edgar Berlanga. He's a powerful young man. Uh, Not a lot of experience on his side, but really testing his uh, his boxing ability against such a decorated boxer and veteran fighter as Saul Canelo Alvarez. So, coming into this fight, tell me who do you think is going to win this fight? You know, um, we're starting to give Edgar Berlanga a puncher's chance, it seems like, as we get closer to the fight. You know, um, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you would ask fight fans about it, and they would just, nope, he's not going to stand a chance. That still stands to be the case. We all know this going into this fight. A lot of us want to see a changing of the guard and just see somebody new. Sometimes in a lot of sports, when you win a little too much, the fans will turn against you. They want to see somebody else get an opportunity. And the way that Saul Canelo Alvarez has been playing his cards of late and the opponents he's been choosing, because make no mistake, he's in the position where that he can choose his opponent, right? So this fight right here, Mexico, Puerto Rico rivalry, you know, uh, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting. Uh, I was watching Edgar Berlanga on multiple YouTube platforms. Shout out to all the YouTube platforms that keep our sport alive. And I was watching him. He seems to know and explains, he articulates well what Saul is doing, what he did against Jaime Munguia, what he did against Caleb Plant, previous opponents, and what were their downfalls and what did they do wrong. But talk is cheap in this sport. You could talk a good game, you could even carry a big stick, but can you execute? Can you perform when the lights are the brightest? Can you win when everything is on the table? That's when it counts. You can beat me in the regular season, but when it counts is in the Super Bowl, right? That's when it counts. So this is Edgar Berlanga's Super Bowl. This is his moment. This is the fight he asked for. This is the opportunity he said he would arise above the occasion. We truly have to watch to see what happens. I'm curious. I'm curious because there's a part of me that seriously thinks Edgar Berlanga could surprise Saul Canelo Alvarez. Edgar Berlanga, if he could maintain it, I've seen spurts of Edgar Berlanga actually boxing. He couldn't maintain it, right? If he can maintain it, not allow the event to get bigger than the boxing match, to understand that in actuality, the event, the lights, the people, the cameras, they're all not really there. This is a fight. And if you can keep your mind focused on exactly what you need to do, that's who's going to overcome on this fight, I believe. I believe it's going to come to, yes, it is going to play, skills are going to play a factor, but it's also who can keep it together as a fighter, who can execute their game plan, right? Recognize when things are either going right or wrong and make the right adjustments in the fight. If the fight is going good and you don't have to make adjustments, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. These are certain things that, as a fighter, I believe only experience can provide. You're going to have to know when and where to do things. I would always like to think that boxing would go a certain way. The dance would be performed. He would do his part, you do your part, and you move as such. But that's not how fighting works. You gotta be you gotta be aware of the unexpected. You gotta create things, and you can't let your moment slip away. In boxing, you got to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes. That's how the dance is played. So in the ring, in the square circle, anything can happen at any given time. One punch can change the course of events. As you saw when AJ Anthony Joshua got clipped in the fight with Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. He never recovered from that shot. He looked like he was trying to get his legs, but as we can see, once he touched them upstairs, one good time, he was back. His legs were back to spaghetti legs. One punch can change the outcome of this fight. Either way, Edgar Berlanga can get hit with a shot and never recover. Look, let me explain something to the fight fans real quick before I start checking out your text messages and everything, which I want to bring up on the screen over here. Uh, Hold on. What's up, bud? Top of the morning to you. Let me, let me explain something. In the sport of boxing, you will be lucky to compete for a world title. And if you shall one day make that and compete, the next thing to do, if you shall be lucky to win the world title. And after you win the world title, you would be lucky to defend the world title multiple times. Now, if you haven't noticed, we've only talked about one world title. It's hard enough in the sport of boxing to win just one. Not every boxer that comes into boxing, well, some boxers in their career never even getting an opportunity to compete for a real world title. These opportunities are not given to every man and woman. A world title fight for not one, not two, but three belts. And the ability and the opportunity to change your stars on this fight. The man you're fighting, your success is going to be built off the career that he made. not the career that you made. What kind of phone call and what kind of opportunity is that? That in one fight, you can truly change your stars. Tell me if this is not true. And if I'm lying, am I lying? Just one fight can change a man. Just one fight can change a man's stars. Yeah? You don't think so? Who the hell was Buster Douglas before he knocked out Mike Tyson? I'll wait. Was Buster Douglas going to the Hall of Fame before the Mike Tyson fight? I'll wait. Hell no, he wasn't. Buster Douglas wasn't going nowhere. Buster Douglas only won one real fight in his entire boxing career, and it was the one that counted. After he knocked out Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas, what did he do with the? What happened? I'll wait. He got knocked out. He went to the Hall of Fame for winning one fight. Any other fight on his record before that, he wasn't going to Hall of Fame for that shit. Hell no. One fight can truly change your stars. Edgar Berlanga pulls this off right here because of the man that Saul Canelo Alvarez made himself. Yeah, man. Some Teofimo Lopez shit when he beat Vasily. At least Teo had a belt, though. You know, that's a little bit different. Teo had already established himself as a world champion. So that's a bit different. But the obstacle was big. Young Teo fighting against Loma. Come on, man. Everybody thought Loma had did that fight in the bag. They were saying that Teo was crazy for taking that fight. I was like, damn, he just became champion. Now he's losing his belt. Teo pulled it off, bro. He pulled one of the biggest upsets. I remember that shit. Look at Espinoza when he beat Robersi, which they're scheduled to fight again, which I think he's gonna beat him again. Yeah, I got Espinoza in that fight against Robersi. Yeah, I think he's got his number, man. He's just so long and lengthy for that division. 6'1", Jesus Christ. How could you be 6'1" and 126 pounds? That's insane. Nah, I'm 5'8", right? There's no way I could be 126, man. I'm like 198, 199. Sometimes I get up 202. I fluctuate right around there. Right around there. There's no way I can make 126. You know, like, and he's 6'1". That's crazy, man. I don't think people really understand what that's like. Fight a man that big like that and that skilled. Had he not been as skilled as he is and he doesn't understand himself as a long fighter, not utilize everything, like Sebastian Fondoro always used to fight on the inside. And a lot of people gave him criticism because of that, because he never really utilizes his reach until of late. His last two fights, Sebastian's fighting more longer. He's learning how to use what his God-given gifts rather than taking them away from himself. Espinoza's a great fighter like that, and I think he's going to beat Robersi again. So look, guys, there's a lot of amazing boxing coming up, right? And October is going to be a hot month too, okay? In October. Uh September 20th, right after the Saul Canelo Alvarez, you got Munguia, right? Munguia's fighting Edgar, right? That's September 20th. You got September 21. That's when the Demetrius I mean Dubois versus AJ. So Dubois is going to be fighting AJ September 21, right? Okay. Then September 27 is when Xander Zion is going to fight Soho, right? Soha. He's going to fight him September 27th, right? And then I think that like for like the main stars, that's gonna end September. There's a couple more fights in there, lower like guys that are coming up. But for as for the like the main stars, um, that's probably gonna end in September. September 27th, I think young Xander Zion closes the month out. When we get into October, it's gonna be real interesting for boxing. right? Because in October 5th, you got Nick Ball, right? He's gonna be fighting Ricos, right? Um, you got October 12th. That's the big fight. That's the night that I'm waiting for because you're gonna have Arthur Benavidez, right, fighting Demetrius Bivol, and that's gonna be a unification for all four belts right there. That's the fight that I want to see right there. That fight right there is gonna be real interesting because of the situation that's starting to evolve. Now, I'm not sure that all this is completely true, but from the people that it's coming from, like the reporters that are reporting it, it's it, I'm pretty much sure that they're reporting that Saul is interested in the winner out of Arthur Benavidez and Demetrius Bivol, and he's actually, in fact, trying to um bump out David the Monster Benavidez for that fight because he's on deck. It's already been talked about. He's on deck. Now, Arthur Benavidez is interesting because now I'm watching a video on him and he's saying, shall he be successful in this fight? He's done. He's moving up to cruiserweight. He said he has no interest in the Canelo Alvarez sweepstakes or that mess or headache. He's chasing greatness, legacy. Canelo has nothing to offer for him, but he's offering Canelo four belts at the time, so that Canelo gets an opportunity to get all four belts at 175 and try to make like this false career that he was that dude. By beating one guy and winning four belts, you got the four belts on paper. It's going to look like you had four belts at 168, four belts here. You must have been the most dominant champion. Like, don't look behind the curtain, you know? And some records can be misleading like that. For one guy got all four belts. That doesn't happen every day. Not every fighter is going to give another fighter an opportunity at their hard work. They had to go collect all the belts, but you get one night to win them all. Who the hell is going to give you an opportunity just to stamp your name into the Hall of Fame? I did all the work for you. So it's very rare when a champion gets all four belts and then gives the next man up an opportunity. Terrence Crawford got all four belts, no opportunity to nobody. He got them again, no opportunity to nobody. Jamel Charlo got him, no opportunity to nobody. Usyk got him, they stripped him, no opportunity to nobody. For different situations, and that doesn't mean that they necessarily just didn't want, but Terrence Crawford lost his belts because he didn't want to give an opportunity to somebody. That's a fact. That's something you can't take off his record, right? Because he legitimately was told by the IBF he had to fight Jerron Boots Ennis or vacate. They were going to strip him of the belt. He chose not to fight him. Not that he was not scared of him, but technically that's what happened. They stripped him of the belt and upgraded Jerron Boots Ennis. He didn't honor his mandatory, Terrence Crawford. Because Terrence Crawford had no intentions on defending the belt, nor was he scared of Jerron Boots Ennis. But I guess Jerron Boots Ennis, if he really wants to beat his chest, he has a legitimate argument. I legitimately got this belt because you didn't want to fight me. That's, whether or not Terrence Crawford was not scared of him and he had other ambitions at the 154 and he was going elsewhere. He didn't care about the belt. Yeah, I think it was more like that. But on paper, it says Terrence Crawford did not honor mandatory, stripped, upgraded Jerron Boots Ennis. On paper. On paper, it doesn't explain, Terrence Crawford had other ambitions. He's going up to 154. No, that's not what it says on paper. The facts are the facts. I know why Terrence did it, but I'm telling you what it's gonna say. So you can have it like that. So anyway, back to the October fights, right? So Arthur Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol, October 12th, right? Which is very interesting on October 12th because tell me what you guys think about this, right? Isn't Shakur Stevenson fighting Joe Cordine on October 12th? And I'm pretty sure they're not fighting on the same fight card. So you mean to tell me, Shakur Stevenson, your management, you left Top Rank, and whoever you got managing you scheduled you a fight on October 12th when Arthur Benavidez and Demetrius Bivol are meeting up at the 175 for all four belts. Your management put a fight together on that date. So, Shakur, you're going up against Arthur Benavidez with the performances you've been having. You don't want anything else to reflect on your ticket sales or, views. Even though Shakur Stevenson is going to be a free fight, right? It's going to probably be where? It's not going to be on ESPN. I don't know. Prime or whatever. Match, I don't know, right? Okay. Why did they set the fight on the same day as Arthur Ben? I don't. I can't wrap my head around this. If you're struggling with your performances, Shakur Stevenson, you don't want any detractions, any and give anybody any reason to go watch something else because you're not hot right now. You are not hot right now. You cannot go again, bro. That was. What do you guys think about that? If that was my manager, I'd be like, "Yo, what are you doing? How are you going to schedule my fight on the same night that they're?" I don't. I'm trying to get people back in the good graces. I'm trying to get out there and knock Joe Cordine's ass out. I know. I don't care. They might not want to give me the credit, but I'm gonna make it exciting. The kind of knockout I'm looking for, right? Is the kind of knockout you're gonna be like, damn, it was great. He might have been smart, but damn, did you see that knockout? I'm still have you talking. I'm trying to get my. This was a stay active fight for Shakur Stevenson. But he knows his back is on the wall or up against the wall. This is not a drill. He's got to come out and perform. And then they're going to put him on it just doesn't make sense for me. Why they would do that. You might want to hop on his card or something. I don't know. I don't know, man. And then after that, right? So Shakur Stevenson, October 12th, and Anthony uh little tongue tied there. Demetrius Bivol, October 12th against Arthur. Okay. So and then you got another. October's going to be a little right back to back. So that's October 12th. Then you got October 13th. October 13th, you got the return of Takuma Inoue, Naoya Inoue's little brother that has the WBA title at the 118. So he's going to be making another title defense, which would be his third title defense so quick, which is great. So and then after that, the next day, October 14th, you're going to have Junto Nakatoni make his ring return on October 14th. So you got October 12th, October 13th, October 14th. And then you got October 19th if you want to go a little further with Tim Tszyu, which Tim Tszyu is going to be into the ring October 19th as well. And he's going to be fighting for the IBF Championship of the World, Tim Tszyu, on October 19th. And we'll just stop right there with the October fights. We're not going to go too far into the schedule so that you can keep that locked in. So let's just let's go over the schedule again. We had September 20th, Munguia, September 21st, Anthony Joshua versus Dubois. We got Zunder Zion on September 27th. We got Nick Ball October 5th. We got Arthur Benavidez and Demetrius Bivol October 12th, Shakur Stevenson, October 12th against Joe Cordine. And then October 13th, Inoue's kid brother. October 14th, Junto Nakatoni. And October 19th, Tim Tszyu. So we have a lot of boxing ahead of us, and there's other events that are being gonna be in between as well. They're gonna be some top prospects that are gonna be headlining some cards. They're gonna be a lot of moving pieces, just like in the Saul Canelo Alvarez fight card. I want to see what happens to some of the fighters, such as Stephen Kubo Fulton. I want to see how he looks after the loss to the Japanese superstar like that. I want to see how he looks, how he fares against his new division. Is he going to stay there? What, like, a couple? I want some answers to some of these things. So let me check out your message. What's up? What's up? S2K Matt, how you doing? In the building. Let's get these likes up. Let's smash those likes. What's up, Ghost Rider? What's up, Carlos? The Dimitri Rubin will fight with me. It's gonna be wild, baby. Front line, front anonymous. How do you say that? Front dominus. Yo, listen. If you win, you got that. Yo, we'll throw it right up. Edgar's coach made a good point about the hype with the 16 first round KOs. Every boxer had the same opportunity and none did it. Now calling Berlanga overhyped? Right. Salute. No matter how great you are, you will always get touched in the ring. Some get rocked, some get dropped. Some don't, but 100% they all get touched. Absolutely. Well said. Looking forward to the Xander Zaya and Tim Tszyu performance. Yeah, listen, I want to see what young Xander Zion looks like. Um, he's see with today's era, right, and exposure. You could see a lot of top young prospects and how the difference between some fighters and others is very apparent. Some fighters come out of the amateurs well polished, right, and look real good, like Abdullah Mason, Keyshawn Davis. They look Camille Moulton. They look real polished, so young, right? And then Xander Zion is learning and getting better in small steps. But make no mistake, he's getting better. It's hard to compare guys when some guys just got God given athletic ability. And then with hard work and determination, you have a product that's well on its way of being a champion. Zender Zion is your typical boxer learning on the job, progressing as a normal human being without all the physical attributes and flair of talent. He's basically the molding of hard work and dedication is what Xander Zion is truly is. And he's coming along. Some people might think, no, he needs to do it now because they're used to seeing these other guys that come out with 900 gold medals, 35,000 amateur fights, and they come out so polished, and you're wondering why. It's because they've been freaking fighting. You know what I mean? Some guys don't got that ability to have such an extensive amateur background, and not every fighter, you know, has all these people helping them along in their career. I think young Xander Zion is definitely coming along well. I can't wait to see him again. He's one of my guys. He's a Puerto Rican fighter. So let's go Puerto Rico. Um, I want to see how he does. And I hope he keeps winning and getting better and better until the day they feel they're ready for him to make that step to title competition. Let's see if he shall win it. The young man looks focused, though. I gotta admit, I've looked up young Xander Zion, and he looks very, very committed to the sport. So, congratulations. The sky's the limit to him. Let's see where he ends up. As far as Tim Zoo's a throwback fighter for me. He truly is. He truly is. He's one of those throwback fighters um that he has a good style to him in fighting, Tim Tszyu, and he doesn't waste a lot of punches. And you might think that his slow approach, where he's just like slow, it will lull you into a false impression that he's not that fast. When in fact, Tim Tszyu is very fast. He has boxing speed. He knows when to throw the punch. He's good and he's accurate. He knows how to switch the levels of his punches too, which is really good. Because not all fighters know how to do these things. Some fighters are more fluent in other areas than other fighters. But not all fighters know how to take some off their punches, how to lull their opponent to sleep with their speed as well, make him look slower than what he actually is, and then whap and show your true speed. Know not to show the fighter your arsenal in the first round. Know how to hold back, how to plan in the fight. How to create situations and how to read the intelligence of the fighter that's standing in front of you. What you can and cannot do. That's called the feeling out process. In the first round, you're going to want to test his intelligence. It's kind of like in chess. Can you get away with that three move checkmate? Is he not aware of that? You know what I mean? But a more experienced chess player is gonna be like, man, listen, I'm gonna put a stop to that real quick, right? But you gotta test him. You gotta test him. See if he's gonna make that dumb move. And it's gonna be checkmate, right? So that's what you have to do. You have to test to see what he's doing. I in fact I was watching Naoya's inner ways, some of his highlights in his fights. There's a lot of things I could take away from a fighter like him, right? The Japanese superstar, the monster. And this week I was kind of concentrating on his footwork, and I was looking at what makes him so unique. I understand he understands timing, distance. It's his placement in his feet. So this time when I was watching him, I was breaking down his movement. The way he sets it up with his feet, because he can lure you in, he can lure you out. There's the battle of the foot placement. And typically in the gym, I was always taught to put your foot on the outside of his foot so that you could generate position to get more power behind your punch. You're typically going to get the better of the exchange. I started noticing fight after fight after fight after fight with Naoya Inoue. He puts his foot on the inside. He welcomes the gunfight. He doesn't always try to battle for outside placement. In fact, I think that that's a big key. He's changing the game in the entrance of what you're typically supposed to do. He's coming through the front door and he's giving you the outside foot. Like the majority of the time, he gives the other guy the outside foot. He takes the inside. I started noticing that. I was like, wait a minute. With Stevie Kubo Fulton, they were fighting for placement because he was thought to believe that Stephen Fulton was going to be faster than him. So any advantage. The minute, and I mean the second, he realized you're not faster than me. He put his foot on the inside. He stopped going on. They. You notice they stopped stepping on in the beginning of the fight. They were stepping on each other's toes. They had the foot war, right? Once he realized you're not faster than me, there was no more stepping on the feet. He took the inside approach. He knew he could beat him on the inside because he was faster to the trigger. And on the inside, with you know what I noticed with him too? Okay, he does a lot with that, and he's figured out a good game plan by putting his foot in the inside. I'm watching him, right? You know when the person throws the jab at you and he steps in the inside, the person's gonna snap the jab right there. He allows him to throw the jab at him, and he snaps the guy off the side of the head. He taught that lesson to Stephen Kubo Fulton, Jamie Maloney. He smacked Jamie Maloney. Every time he threw out that jab, and now Naoya Inoue timed it. Yo, he smacked him right in the side of the head. The jab would go down, and pow, and they would look, the expression on their face, shocked and surprised. Where did that, like Jamie McDonald Maloney looked around the ring like, is there anybody else in here? He looked at the referee like, did you just punch me? Yo, I'm getting jumped in here. There's more of these ninjas in here, bro. Yo, he looked confused. He looked confused. When he did it to Stephen Fulton, like, he was shocked too when he got hit. He was like, what the hell was that? He thought he was getting jumped. He was like, yo, he got four arms over there? Yo, so he's setting you up. It's exactly what he's doing. He's setting you up. He's baiting you into false confidence that, yeah, he's there to be hit with that jab. Throw it. Soon as you throw that jab, mistake, and he's punishing you. Uh he is definitely um an exciting fighter to watch, and he's definitely the type of fighter that will take chances to end you. You're gonna hit him. You're gonna hit him. You're in a fight, just like my man said. Yeah, we're in fights. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get punched. Now, yeah, I know he got punched by Luis Nari. He went down. So what? It's not what happened in the fight. It's the outcome of the fight. What happened? Some people are more caught up in one particular moment in the fight. I knocked you down, bro. Let's make a meme. Blah, 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 right? Than the actual outcome. But wait a minute. All right, he knocked him down. What actually happened? What was the ending result in the fight? What? He got dropped 3 times and brutally knocked out? Man, okay, he knocked him down, but let's look at the times he got dropped. It's not what happened. It's not how you start the game. It's how you finish, right? Look at the scoreboard. Who won? All right, then. You can say whatever. You had your moments in the game. You had your moments in the fight. Congratulations. But you know what you didn't get? The victory. So go have your moment over there while I celebrate my victory over here. Thank you. Couldn't do it without you. I want to thank God, my family. Victory speech. Hold that. Some people want to hold on to like silly stuff. Yeah, congratulations. Yo, that was a big moment in the fight. Congratulations, Louis Neri. Yo, you're the first person to knock him down. I can tell you that much. And that's your moment. But that's about it. Go that way. Yeah, because my man is still undefeated, still got all 4 belts. So I don't know what the hell are they talking about. I understand. Who's the world champion? He is? Oh, he still got all 4 belts? Well, well, all right. You know what I mean? They crazy. They are. But yeah, let me check on y'all message and see what you say because Frontline is definitely not winning this Notre Dame's belt because I'm gonna let y'all know right now he can't call these fights. Listen, we got a lot of people gonna be joining us now. Oh yeah, so the competition is really gonna get fierce. What? The Tim Zoo fight? Um, I was gonna touch on that, but it's so far out too that I was gonna like save that for a little bit over there. But as well as like, um, I like Tim Zoo as a fighter. I really do. Unfortunately, he didn't get that fight that I wanted him to get to prove to the world that he was that guy. He chased Jamel Charlo for so long, you know. And that fight never got to materialize for, we know why he went chose to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez, got destroyed, and we never saw him back in the ring after that fight, unfortunately. Yeah. So I I needed that fight so that Tim Tszyu can really solidify himself as that guy, and people would see what I was seeing in as Tim Tszyu as a fighter. They would see that, and I really thought that that fight would put him there, but it never occurred, did it? Then when he lost against Sebastian Fedora, it kind of gives like this false impression that he wasn't as good as oh well, if he's so good, how he lose this, that, and the third. But the circumstances inside of that fight with that blood and the rookiness of his corner, Tim Zoo's corner, letting him down and not getting that cut under control or not having the proper things in your corner like the cut glue to seal the cut up. Yeah, they probably wouldn't have got that cut to stop bleeding. Not out there with your you have this vein up here, man. Listen, and you're not gonna stop that like that. But you could have closed it a little. What they were doing was Vaseline and prayer. That wasn't gonna stop that blood. Literally, before he was getting up to engage, he already had a face full of blood. They just wiped it. Before he stands up, it was just covered. But that glue and him protecting it for maybe a round or two. That's all you need for that glue to start to really, and then each round just close a little more, try, try, try. You would have got at least some of that blood to stop, at least 30% of it. You would have got to stop. And depending on how he would have nursed it in the fight, you might have would have got a good 70% of that blood to stop. That would have gave him a better opportunity in the fight, and maybe the fight would have came out different, you know. Uh, but I think Tim Tszyu beats him. I think Tim Tszyu beats him. I just I really like his fighting style. It's just he got to prove it right against Tony, right? Look, um, well, yeah, I gotta give him that fight. And that was a great fight when he fought against Jamel Charlo and he pulled up the upset against Jamel Charlo. At least he went in and he got rocked the second time against him. But Tony Harrison was a great fighter and he understands boxing. He's also a coach, and I think that he kind of underestimated Tim Tszyu. I think he did. He kind of took that white boy image, and Tim Tszyu was like, "Look, I'm gonna teach you." You think you got that American slick style, and you think that you so cocky and arrogant. And Tim caught up to that ass, and he beat him. He beat him outright. And that's why I know when you could have skills against a man. Tim Tszyu understands things that other boxers are not really, and it's the small, simple, basic repetition things as a boxer. If you really pay attention to the fundamentals, you can be a great fighter. It's just when you start going outside of shit, start like what I'm saying. Now you're doing too much sometimes. Sometimes it's good. It works in your favor. I can't disagree with styles. No, because I wouldn't want everybody to fight the same way. So styles are good for boxing. Yes, it is. Right? But while you're adapting your style as a fighter, always remember the fundamentals. Stay true to the small things in fighting. They're gonna save you one day. Yes, I guarantee it, bro. It's just real simple, basic stuff to hit a dude. Real, it's you're making it too complex. You're thinking for him. You're like, I want to hit him. I want to, but he looks ready. He looks ready. You're thinking for him. You're thinking about the situation. The situation. You know, you're making it worse in your head when it's really simple. He cocks back. He's like, bah, bah. Think right there in the moment. Just clear your mind. He's arguing. He's getting rowdy. You're seeing him start to motivate himself to try to throw the punch. He's looking right at you. 80-90% of the time, he's going for a face shot. Anticipate this. Yo, real calm light. Just go. Don't shift, don't move, nothing. Just try it. Wow. Everything he's doing is just gonna go. You're gonna see how simple it is to actually hit somebody. You ever seen a fight? The guy, the guy can't hit this guy. He's like, when he's trying, he's like, and the guy's like, slip, right? Have you ever noticed in that same fight, the guy just reaches his hand out and pushes his forehead? He just touched him. He goes, no speed, nothing. Why could he touch his forehead and push off of him? But when it came to punch him, slip. He's anticipating your movement. Don't, you're making it too hard. Trust me, you're making it too hard at that point. It's just, all you got to do is touch. That's it. Trust me, it works this way. When fighters start learning that, they start to shave their fight game. They're more They're not, they realize I don't have to go backwards. I don't have to do this. I don't have to actually flinch or brace. All I got to do is go two, bam, and the punch is going to be there. He's teaching us that too. He's showing us that off the punch, like, ah, boom. He's reminding us what some of the greats used to do back in the day. Because believe me, we've been doing this stuff is that fighters have a tendency of not teaching other people their techniques and closing the doors to their gyms, such things like that, not passing on these things. And nowadays, boxing is in the last 20 years or so, it's really the boxing gyms have opened their doors and you can see the product they're pushing out. You see the product now that Japan is trying to like push out. Ukraine. You know, Junto Nakatoni, no make no mistake, he represents Japan, but where is he trained? In America. That American slick style combined with some of the coaches that are from other countries, man, boxing's really evolving here. It really is. So listen, have his cut man. His cut man and his coach is like his uncle and some shit. Tim Zoo's coach, I think is his father's brother, right? That was just bad, bro. That was amateur night at the Apollo. It truly was, bro. You could have got out of that situation right then and there. Just hustle. Have some pep in your step. There's three of you in the corner. There's the chief second, right? There's three. Okay. The coach could have still stayed in the corner, right? On that fight card, there was like 10 fights that night. There is about five, six coaches and fighters in attendance that just fought, took a shower, came back, and sat down, right? You're looking at them. I would have went in my pocket, took out a wad of cash. Yo, go talk to one of those coaches and see if they got a tube of glue. Out of the 10 fights that you think one of those guys would have had just one vial of glue, I'd have gave you $200 for that vial of glue. Because technically in a fight, right, if you got a cut man, there's you can buy cut men at any fight in the world. You ever see those guys like Stitch? That guy Stitch for the UFC, and they do a lot of boxing matches too as well. You can hire him. If you don't need him, you don't have to pay it. But if he has a little box, they usually have like these little boxes and it's got like a seal on it. If he cracks that seal, it's $200. So when your cut man has to work on your fighter, if he cracks that seal, you got to pay the cut man $200 for the night. That's all it is. I would have bought the box off him for $200. I don't need you as a cut man. I got my own cut man. Just give me the box, 200. It's got glue in it. No hustle in the corner. Yo, they froze. He didn't know what to do. He doesn't got that inside that. Sometimes street shit pays off in life. Sometimes things you learn in the street, man, that's why it makes, because we're survivors. We're survivors. We're always looking to survive, to solve the problem. You know, I might need some duct tape for this. Go find me some more duct tape. Right? That's what I would. I just know myself. If I would have saw that kind of cut, what the fuck is? Yo, go get me some glue. Hurry up. Move, 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 move. While me and him are trying to stop the bleeding, and I'm coaching my fighter until he pops up with the glue. Nah, they went the entire fight like that. Yeah, please stop bleeding. Put some more Vaseline on it. Please. Yo, that wasn't working, man. You guys let your fighter down. Eh, I don't want to shit on Tim Zoo's uncle because it is his uncle, but a good portion of his loss goes to him. Tim Zoo was in that ring fighting for his life. He was fighting for it blind. He couldn't see, not blind as fuck, fighting for his life. He had to alter his fight strategy. He had to come forward and be more aggressive when that wasn't the plan because of urgency. He legitimately thought they were going to stop the fight after the fourth round with all that blood. And they had a strong case to stop the fight. The reason why they didn't stop the fight because they gave Tim Zoo, the champion's benefit of the doubt. They let him fight blind like that. That is, man, listen. It's because the belt was on the line. Had it been any other fight, but no belt, they stopped that fight. That hole was like this. You could put two fingers in that hole. Any other fight, any other night, oh hell no. Fight stopped. Because it had a title, and they're out there, their champion's about to take a loss out there. They was like, nah, let the fight continue. Fuck it. Yo, you get in, fight blind. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy. And that was a freak accident. Going into the fight, the reason why I believe they didn't have a cut man, because some dumb motherfucker, excuse my language too, in the gym while they're training for the fight, Tim Zoo probably mumbled out the words, well, at least you're not going to have to worry about headbutts because they were like this, right? He said, "You ain't gonna have to worry about clashing heads," right? So Tim Zoo's coach probably heard that and thought of it and was like, "You know what? You're right. This, they definitely not clashing heads." But what no one could think of, he didn't think that he was gonna plop the bottom of his elbow on the top of his forehead, dunking underneath a shot, and he gave him the people's elbow, stunner, right? The right, he rocked him, the rock, baby, right? Yo, and he split his man. That was a freak accident. That was truly a freak accident. But unfortunately, it cost him the world title. And his coach, hey, look, man, it is what it is. I think I would have beat my uncle up. Yo, you cost me my belt. Yo, you might be my coach, but I might have to drop you. I don't know. Yeah, there's rules on what you could stop to use bleeding, of course. You can't put cocaine in your freaking cut, bro. Yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that would stop the bleeding, bro. All right? Yo, I don't know. I think there's rules, but we have what they approved years ago. Um, um, is that glue, the crazy glue for cuts? You can go to Walmart, buy it. They made a glue that's safe that you put in and it closes the wound. Fast acting. We can use that in boxing. Yes, you can. It used to be, remember back in the days where they had the ugly cuts and like the eyelid was flipping out and the red part of the eyelid was out and the cameraman be all in his face. Wow, that looks bad. And it's like right here in your face and you're trying to get it together. They put big globs of Vaseline in the cut. Remember those days? Why you think you don't see that much now? Because the cuts, when it happens, they're going right to the corner and taking care of it, sealing it right up. And then all of a sudden you forget he had a cut. You're like, damn, I thought he had a cut, man. They stopped the bleeding pretty well. Yeah, they did. It's called super glue. And they quick now. That's why you don't see as much, the eyelid flapping out. And when you do, that's in like the low fights when they really don't got the money for the $200 for the cut man to crack open $200. It would legitimately is what costs to save your fighter. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, every boxing match you can hire a cut man that they provide right there. There's like three of them, and before you go and you report in, I'm here, I'm in the building. Do you got a cut man? I can assign one to you. Ba ba ba. He gets assigned to your fight. So you can't tell. I know it. I've been to 100 fights, bro. This happens all the time. So for $200, if he has to crack that, it's $200. That's it. Or bring your own glue and your own cut man and your own fucking. You know what I mean? Be prepared. Buy yourself a box. Get yourself an in swell. Put the in swell on the bruising. That shit sucks because I remember when they had to like put the in swell and I was like training to put in swell and work with cuts and stuff. I worked a couple corners and the next day, yo, those fucking when you're pressing down, what you're doing is just, you're buying your fighter some time. And that's so cold that you want to keep it real cold and you put it on it, it pushes the blood down. But you really pay the price for it the next day. You should see what it looks like in some of these guys. It almost like 1.5 time doubles, I think. Because I think if we didn't push the ends roll like that, it wouldn't have been so bad. But the next day, yo, the fighters, yo, it's bubbled, and it looked darker, like purple. I'm not sure, like If I could have had like both eyes blacked eyed and did inswell on one side and didn't do the other side in comparison, that might be a test. I'm gonna go outside and do that. Yo, come here. I want to find something out. This is in the name of science, all right? Right? Yo, my thing stopped. My stream stopped over here, as you can see it. And I'm not even sure if I'm still recording here. Let me take this down real quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. If you could see on this screen right here, like my live feed and your messages all froze. So I haven't seen any of your messages, but the time is still ticking. So on the monitor, my screen stopped. So I don't, as you can see the last message, look, nothing's happening. Now I'm not even sure if I'm talking to you guys and you guys are still there. Wait up, I can do something. I can switch it to the YouTube stream. Let me see if that works. That way I can know that it's still running. It says it and know that it's still running. Oh yeah, I am. Here we go. Here you guys are. I got all your messages up now. It says it and know that it's still running. Oh yeah, I am. Here we go. Here you guys are. I got all your messages up now. It says it and know. Let me take off the volume. I was like repeating, right? I tell you what, right, guys? A lot of these fights are gonna be real interesting. Do you guys really give Edgar Berlanga a puncher's chance? Do you guys believe that there is a possibility he can pull this upset? Do you think that he has the cardio, the stamina to last 36 minutes with no adrenaline dump, and that he has enough in the tank and enough skills to keep Saul Canelo Alvarez at bay? I saw him talking Edgar Berlanga about the mistakes that he believes Jaime Munguia made, which he had valid points. But it's one thing to identify something, and it's another to execute it. Can he sustain and maintain his attack for 36 minutes? And that, my friends, is what we're gonna have to find out. Come on, fight fans, smash that like button for me. Let me check something out. I wonder if this works. I guess not, Obi-Wan. Wanted to really wow, that's interesting. It's funny. All right. Hold on. No, that is very, very, very interesting. Here we go. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if we can do a little something here while we got the time for it, guys. Oh, listen. If you guys could help me out and do this test real quick, I could save you guys eardrums from having the sound effects go too loud. Now, real quick, let's run a test. You guys can help me with this, okay? I'm gonna hit the sound effect, right? And when I hit it, you guys tell me what the. All right, I'm gonna hit the sound effects, and you guys tell me if it's just way too loud, right? The ding, 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 right? Tell me how this sounds. Is that like overwhelming? And if it is, right? Which I gotta find out which one controls that because I'm still not like I turned this down right here. This is the second time I'm gonna do it. Right? I can't even hear myself now. In the hold on, yeah, that's loud as hell. Hold on. All right. I can't even hear the headphones now. Does that bring that down, or is it this that brings it down? So let me bring that back up like this, right? And then I'm gonna turn it up like this over here. No, I'm gonna actually turn it down. Turn it down to like a six, like right there. Then I'm gonna do it again right now. This is the third one. Let me know if the third one was good. The second one was like and there was the first one, right? Is that one lower than the last one? That's what I gotta know because it's gonna then I'll figure out how the sound effects are higher on what track because I can't figure that out. Way too loud, a bit loud, still loud. To the chat, all loud, same level to me, same level to me. All right, damn. Okay, okay, I figured it out. Hold on, let's do this, and let's take this and bring it here. Right? Tell me now. How about now? Echo. Oh, echo over here. Good level. What's up, Ghost Rider? Good level. That was good. I just don't like that because when I play back because I watch my recordings and I'm checking for your comments and stuff. And when I play it back on my laptop, that should be like, I'll be like, yo, that shit is mad loud. So I know it bothers me a little. You know, sometimes it gets me hyped, but I'm not always in the mood to hear, you know what I mean? So a nice low one, I wouldn't mind that. You know, it brings excitement to it, but I don't want that shit fucking rocking in my ear while I'm really engaging into what this guy has to say. So that's good. We're going to keep it there. All right. That's what's up. Thank you real quick, man, because that was really bothering me. You know, that I didn't want to have that blasting in your ear. I wouldn't like that neither. So, um, dealing with these sound effects and you guys helping me out in that, yo, that's awesome, man. Just, I appreciate that because now I know where the problem lied. You know, I'm over here trying to turn it down here, and you guys exactly know. I'm thinking it's lower because I got the knob lower, and it wasn't doing nothing. Shit's still kicking off like bah bah bah. So I had to learn that. Thank you. So what do you guys think also on the card with Laura and Danny Garcia? Do you guys really think that Laura can has enough still in the tank to beat Danny Garcia coming off a 2-year layoff, moving up in weight? I don't think that Danny Garcia has ever fought, in this weight division. I'm pretty sure of it. And Laura is he's big for the weight division. He's big. Um, he maybe not as fast as he once was, but when you lose a step in boxing, typically you gain a step in experience. So sometimes what you learn that you don't have that cat-like reflexes or that them quick athletic burst. So you make up for it in other areas, and you become a much smarter fighter, a much efficient fighter. You don't waste a lot of punches. And sometimes fighters trying to adapt that style can hurt themselves because it's hard to figure out when and wheres and what you're capable of doing when what you believe you still you once did. That's kind of hard to. It's a big pill to swallow as a fighter, knowing that you have taken a step backwards. The great ones are able to make adjustments, and Lara right now seems to, that fight with Canelo, we could debate it all day if you want, but you know, um, I'm not sure Canelo Alvarez won that fight, but so I know, and as well as Edgar Berlanga, just because Demetrius Bivol is the one on record to beat him and beat him convincingly in the way he did, make no mistake, he should study the film and the footage of the Lara fight and what he did in that fight. Yeah. And I don't really think that this fight could be so much the a skill level versus Edgar Berlanga so Canelo Alvarez. If you don't let it go down that road, you know what they mean when they say controlling the action and controlling the fight? Don't allow it to become a boxing match. Don't allow it to become anything than what you prepared. There are a certain amount of rounds you should be fighting this way. There are a certain amount of rounds you should be fighting this way. And you should have a game plan for the closing of the fight, shall you get there. This is what to expect in the championship rounds, the 10th round, the 11th round, the 12th round. This is what you should expect. Shall you be in this situation? If we're in this situation, this is what you should do. These are boxing situations that you need to go over in the gym with your coach. A lot of teams do this. A lot of athletes do this. Situational moments, training for situational moments in the gym, that in the ring that might occur. That's called preparation. So when I send my fighter out there, I'm saying if the fight is, let's say, an 8-round fight, I'm gonna say for the first 2 rounds, I want you to do this. The next 2 rounds, I need you to do this. And these 2 rounds, I need you to do this. See what I'm saying? And then the last 2 rounds, the closing, if we're there or he's still standing in front of you, well, then this is what I want you to do. And we worked on these things. So that's preparation, game plan. That's boxing. It's not an amateur fight where you just train hard, throw all offense. There's no feeling out process in the amateurs. There's no making reads. There's just offense, two guys. You know, real amateur style boxing. Yeah. You gotta get to it. You only got 3 rounds. You gotta get to it. So it's a lot different than the pros. Yeah. He seems too big for him. I know that for a fact. For Danny Garcia, Laura is big for that weight division, and Danny Garcia is gonna come in. He's thinking that he's just gonna be the same Danny Garcia. Like, I think he's gonna be a little sluggish, a little too big. I don't think he's comfortable fighting at that weight division. I think this is going to be another case of the fighter just believing in themselves a little too much and not knowing their limits and expecting you to perform the way you once performed with a long time away from the sport. That's a mistake. That's a blatant mistake. It happens a lot in boxing. Egos are one thing that you can't dictate when a man thinks too much of himself and he takes that blindly and starts saying, "You guys are doubting me that I like when people doubt me." No, we're not doubting you, bro. We're just calling the situation for what it is, bro. You got 2 years off. Ring rust is a real thing. You're moving up to a weight division, but now he's gonna take that, and the fighter tries to convince himself that you guys are haters, that you guys are doubting him now. No, we're being honest. But since we can't talk you out of it, all right, all right, go ahead, go ahead. Think you're just gonna walk in there against Lara, and it's gonna be a walkthrough, a cakewalk. Watch when you're standing in front of him and see how big he is compared to you, and let's see how he moves and how those punches feel. Then he's gonna be in the corner like, I think I might have fucked up. And it's gonna be too late. You're gonna have to work your way out of the situation, will yourself to win, do something, because I think Lara can crack. And if he catches up to Danny, and Danny's a slow starter anyway by nature. Even when he was in his prime, he was a slow ass starter, you know? And Danny would he would like cover up, take punches to give his punch, you know? He starts warming up. He was good, bah, bah. He hits hard. Danny hits hard. But he's typically a slow starter anyway. So we'll see. We'll see. 41 years old? 41. Arthur Benavidez is 39. Yeah, a lot of these guys are getting up there. And they talk about Terrence Crawford wanting to retire. He should retire. He's old. 36. Hold up. My man got a whole 5 years on him. A whole 5 years on Terrence Crawford. And you guys are talking like, yeah, Laura, he's up there in age, but he's the world champion. You ain't telling Laura to retire, right? You're definitely not telling Arthur Benavidez to retire. No one is saying that. He's 39. So, but yet, oh, Terrence Crawford needs to retire. He's old, 36. My man got 3 years on Terrence, and he's about to go to cruiserweight after this victory. Everybody's cool with it. But Terrence needs to retire, according to most people. Man, they're so full of shit, bro. Everybody doesn't age the same. There's athletes that can fight in their 40s. For some reason, their body holds up. Some people, I know some 30-year-old guys not doing too good in the athletic department, right? And they fall apart early. I knew some guys in their 20s lost all their hair, got the belly, everything, not no not one athletic bone in their body anymore. And then I know guys in their 50s that will outrun you, that will out pull up you on the pull up bar. Guys in their 50s, so we're different. We're different. If Terrence Crawford still feels he got it, he's undefeated. He just won a new title in a different way. Then that's up to him. I think he's more than capable of still having a successful boxing career. Yeah. Yeah. 36. Ain't that far away. He ain't that far away. Come to think about it. And not all 36-year-olds are the same. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it's gonna be a good fight. I mean, you got him at 41. At least you didn't put him in with a 24-year-old kid, 25-year-old kid and shit. Some young gunner coming up, like ready to rip your head off. Like Zunder Zion, I know he's in a little bit weight division down, but if he was to fight Laura and you bulk up Zunder Zion to the 160, you know, Then everybody would be like, "Oh, are you putting the young boy on the 41-year-old man?" You know what I'm saying? At least this way, Danny has a big name and he's also up there in age. So the matchmakers, that's a good fight, actually. Yeah, it's a good fight. I think the odds are on Laura's side. Lara's side. Yeah. It's his weight division. He's the champion. He's active, more active than Danny. So, you know, yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Ghost Rider. Uh, what else we got to look forward to? Do you really guys think that the Caleb Plant fight is? Why am I the only one that I seem to be that I think this dude Trevor dude got a chance? Maybe it's his record. Maybe it's his record that got me a little. No, but I watched his fights though. I watched him. He did some good things. His opponents weren't that great. Um, yeah, I mean, I didn't watch all his fights, so there probably could have been some fights that he had better. Yeah, I'll admit that. I didn't get to watch every one of his fights, and not all his recent fights that I watched neither. I think I got to watch one, and then there was a couple clips from past fights, and I'm not sure what sequence they were in. But I was watching them, and I'm checking them out, and he's undefeated. He has 28 fights with 21 knockouts. 28 fights, 21 knockouts. Now he's coming up against Caleb Plant. And this is going to be a crucial moment for Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant loses this fight, well, then Trevor takes his spot. Caleb Plant goes backwards. That's not good for your career at this age, at where he's at. Caleb Plant really needs to win this fight, to still be in the Canelo Alvarez sweepstakes because it depends on how Edgar Berlanga wakes up September 15th. Does he wake up September 15th and the new? Or does he wake up September 15th? Damn, I lost. I got to rebuild from here. And then does Caleb Plant wake up September 15th, the victor, and now trying to challenge Saul, which doesn't have any interest in fighting Caleb, it seems. He wants to fight the winner at these guys at 175, Arthur Benavidez and Dimitri Bivol. Yeah. So, yeah, I want to see. But a lot of people, like I was saying, a lot of people, even Vegas, they got Caleb Plant wiping this dude down. He's heavily favored. I think that's going to be a surprise fight. Let's see. We're going to find out. The Rolly fight, you can always expect a lot of things with Rolly of late, though. He's kind of been like biting back on his words, so I think this is a make or break fight for Rolly. I can't wait for Cepeda to return back. There's a lot of good fights, man. A lot of good action that October is gonna be a good month of boxing. Definitely is. We got a lot on the horizon. So yeah. I want to see Junto Nakatoni right after the Tacoma Inoue fight. October 13th, Tacoma Inoue fights, and then October 14th, Junto Nakatoni fights. And I want to see his fight. I want to see how much better he's even improved from the last time he fought. Just to get a rough estimate at where he's at. So the anticipation, I'll know more or less if he's going to be ready for Naoya Inoue uh, 2025. Because we never know who's going to fight him in Vegas, and we really haven't figured that out. Could that be a massive showdown between Naoya Inoue and Junto Nakatani? Woo! Would that be a fight? Yo, would you tune in for that one? Hell yeah, I would. You're damn right I would. That would be a fight. Or better yet, better yet, what if Bam Bam Rodriguez jumps up and challenges Junto first? Them two fight, the winner moves up to try to pursue him and the next adjacent weight division. Because I can imagine that if Bam moves up, wouldn't he be fighting Junto at 118 for his belt? What's the following weight division? 122, where he's at. So if they can meet, if Bam Rodriguez can make that jump from 115 to 118, if he beats him or Junto beats him, the winner could move up to fight him in Vegas still at 122 and for all four belts. And I would, look, I'll accept anything from Naoya Inoue, right? But I'll also accept, like, because the anticipation of him going up to 126. But if he was to fight like a mega fight like that with Junto at 122 for all four belts, I would be happy with that. Hysterical. Like, I wouldn't mind. Oh, he didn't go to 126. So what? Look at this fight. Like, this is amazing. So in that sense, I wouldn't, but I wouldn't want to see him fight another TJ Doheny, and it'd be like two more of those kind of fights and one of them in Las Vegas. Then it wouldn't be, you know what I mean? So yeah, the big fights intrigue me. Of course, I would take that one. You know, you need to check out Mekumbe's record. Mekumbe's, what a fucking name, right? Every time I say his name, I'm like, what the hell your parents were thinking of? But anyway, he must. No wonder he became a fighter. He was tired of people. You know what I mean? You think Japan would set the best two against each other? Yes, 100%. At every nation, at every point in time, the two times you're supposed to fight your countrymen, there's only real two times you're supposed to fight your countrymen. And in the middle, you're not supposed to fight each other. We're actually not supposed to be fighting each other right now, right? Like Tank Davis and Shakur, right? They got to clean out the division before they were meet. These are the two times in boxing typically, you fight. In the beginning of your career, you fight your own countrymen to prove who's the best Japanese fighter. As you're coming up, usually typically it's the people closest around you you're going to fight, which are going to be other Japanese men. As you start to climb, gain your world titles, that's when you stop fighting your countrymen. You allow them to fight other people, get other belts, and you as a team and as a country try to get as many belts and world titles as you can and bring them back home. That's the objective. The only second time you should fight your countrymen when two of you made yourselves household names and mega stars. You don't really got too much to prove, but to see who is the best out of you two. That's when Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. met for the Americans to prove who were the best because they beat everybody else out. That was the perfect example for that. They stopped fighting their American guys, but at some point, there were some Americans also at their level competing. Sean Porter, when Terrence Crawford had to beat him, he didn't want to fight Sean Porter because he was an American guy like him. Terrence Crawford took it easy on Sean Porter until they said, Terrence, you're losing in the 10th round. And he said, what? Okay, let me end this. That's him taking it easy on his American brother. You see? That's when you fight. That's when Naoya Inoue has already put himself in star celebrity status with Japan, and Junto Nakatoni is the next shiny new thing. In order for him to exit, the young king lion is going to fight the old lion. That's typically how we pass the torch in combat sports. You're going to have to beat him. Sometimes I don't like that to happen. I don't feel like Jaron Boots Ennis should beat Terrence Crawford on his way out. Why does it have to be one of our guys to dethrone one of our guys? Why can't you get a Russian, a Mexican, or somebody else to try to beat him? You always got to get us to do our own dirty work. Let Jaron Boots Ennis should be paying homage to men like Terrence Crawford that paved the way for him, that showed what it's like to be a world champion for the American team. And I know the American team is like, it's not like really a real team, but it's an untalked about team. You know, you you know, boxing is an individual sport, right? But there's that individual there's that invisible invisible line that we know it's there, but as Americans, we're all rowdy. We're trained to attack each other. We're trained to choose Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, not knowing that Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant all play for America in basketball. And they're the best American basketball players. But since we don't have anybody else we really truly play with, then we got to attack each other. Football, we watch it, we attack each other. But in boxing, we're going to other countries. We're competing against, bragging rights. Japan has bragging rights right now. They got 10 world champions. Saul Canelo Alvarez has been the Mexican champion for I don't know how long. Vasily Lomachenko had multiple belts. Josh Taylor had 4 belts. Joshua had his belts. Usyk, Fury. All those guys none of them are American fighters. Not one guy that I named. Yeah, all the other countries are doing their thing. Why you think Lomachenko got on and was like, I don't fight Ukrainian fighters? Why you think Saul got on? I don't fight Mexican fighters. But then at some point you will. And I believe there should be only 2 points in your career when you do that. The very beginning and when you already achieved everything you needed to achieve. And we want to see who. And it's up to you to find out. Like when Oscar De La Hoya for Julio Cesar Chavez to pass the torch. Julio Cesar Chavez was 35 and Oscar De La Hoya was what, 23, 22 when they fought. And Oscar beat him. And that's with the top Mexican against the new Mexican top guy. And they fought to determine who is, and Oscar won. Those are classic fights. That's when you get your guy fight your other best guy. That's when you're going to see the Japan fight. Neo Inoue fight Junto Nakatani. Yes, and that's when I believe you'll get it. But we will get it, I think. Mm. Front line, bro. He just bust in with random chats. So, fight fans, thank you for tuning in the morning. We're gonna try to keep this going in the morning. I'll be on later on tonight, 8:30. Please join me. We'll have a lot more to talk about as we get closer to the Saul Canelo Alvarez. And if you have any comments or any fighters you want to talk about, leave your comments in the chat. Please don't forget to like the videos, comment in the videos. It helps the channel grow and pushes me further out into the algorithm. So, fight fans, without further ado, listen. This has been an amazing show. I'm going to go back and check that out right there, hear how it sounds. But thank you for helping me out with that. And I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Peace. You guys have been.